Everything is on. First and foremost, brother, I can't thank you enough for stepping up for me.
Of course.
Last minute, as a typical fireman does, as my man does.
Couldn't leave you hanging.
Had a couple guys bail on me for, shit happens. I get it. It's understandable. It's tough getting everybody together for something like this. But I was like, you got a great story. You've done a lot. We're friends. And I'm messing with the microphone. And I really do appreciate you stepping up.
Anytime,
so, thank you.
I'm a big fan.
Thanks.
No, I like what you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, so quick intro. This is Lieutenant Ryan Johnston, Jr.
No.
You're not a junior?
No, my son is.
Okay. He is former fireman of 59 Engine, the Harlem Zoo, my old firehouse, our old firehouse. Yep. Promoted in
07.
Promoted.
No. I got to the zoo in 07.
Okay. Promoted
I worked with you my whole career. 11 years in 59 Engine. And I got promoted in 2018.
January 2018. And you went to the 14th Division in Queens and bounced around the 14th a little bit and ended up in 289 Engine.
Yep.
Right?
Corona. In
Corona, Queens. And wound up getting a spot there in 289 Engine. And you are a multiple unit citation winner. Also, for great grabs that you guys made that I don't even know the story yet. I haven't even heard the story yet. So I'm really excited to hear this, and we'll talk about that at the end. The medal recipient of the Fitzpatrick and Frisby medal and the Chief John McElligot medal. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
The medals are for the same job that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And that's pretty wild stuff, man. When I found out that they were like, oh, that's the guys who are like, you hear about those grabs and this and that? And they were like, I was like, yeah, I heard about it. They were like, that's RJ's. I was like, get out of here. That's freaking awesome. Unbelievable, dude. So welcome to the kitchen table. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks again. I'm going to shake your hand probably like 6 times.
That's right.
But everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. You guys know me. I'm Kenny D. You know what I've been trying to do. I'm doing some interviews now, and so far the interviews it seems to be what everybody wants to hear, but I'm still trying to spread the mental health awareness message a little bit. I'm going to scale it down a little, but so far the most views, the most listens have been the 2 interviews that I've done with Brian Quinn and Matt Nolan. So piggybacking off of that, we're going to get into interviews of firemen, cops, military guys. So welcome to the show again. This is for first responders, but not exclusive to it. This really is for everybody. Anybody who's interested in a story or has had mental health issues, and we're just going to have some fun. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. So, Ryan, welcome to the show again.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing, brother?
Excellent.
Yeah? How's life been?
Good. I was up early. I took my son fishing, so I was up since 4:30, but I'm all good. Glad you're here. Welcome to my house.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting me. Great seeing you, dude.
Yeah.
You look freaking amazing. You really do. I haven't seen you in a while, but you look great, man. I'm really really proud of you, man. I'm really happy.
Taking care of myself, watching what I eat, working out, staying active.
You catch anything this morning?
Just some short flukes. The wind and the tide were going opposite, so we weren't really moving. Plus, it was pretty rough out there.
Yeah. You've been an avid boater for a long time, right?
Yeah. I got my first boat when I was 13. Been on the water since. I've been commercial tuna fishing for the last on and off for 15 years.
Commercial tuna fishing?
Yeah. I go out of Montauk.
No shit.
I'm part of a crew out of Montauk with a big 65-foot Viking.
Really? What's the name of the crew?
The boat has got to go, but it's with Don Murtha. He actually met the guy a few years back and got me and Rusty Miklich, 2 guys from Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty's still in 30 truck. Don Murtha retired out of 28 truck.
Right, Donnie's
so
retired.
Basically, us 3 is like his main guys, and then he has like a couple of fill-ins here.
How often do you do that?
In the summer is our busy season, but we try to go whenever he'll go. Like my first time ever fishing with this guy, it was supposed to be a 2-day trip, so like Thursday to Saturday. Yeah, we didn't get home until Monday morning.
Wow!
But the great part about it is he's so rich. He has Wi-Fi on the. We're 100. We're 100.
All the amenities at home.
Everything.
Yeah.
So 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
Really?
Like shower and take a nap and stuff, but thank God he has Wi-Fi in the boat because my wife would have been calling the Coast Guard and thinking, had
thinking he was supposed to be home Saturday and then home for a month. Wow.
And I'm like, he's not coming back until we get the boat full.
Man. Like, do you guys are going competitions, or you basically?
Well, we have a big tournament coming up, July 12th to the 22nd that week. But it's like the best. You have 36 hours to fish. You can do it all in a row, or you can split it up. But it's a 36-hour window for that week period.
That's all right. Don't worry about
that. And we're hoping it could be big money.
Yeah,
but it depends on what you as an individual put. Like me and Rusty are doing it.
Yeah,
Donnie can't.
Okay.
So like me and him have been talking like what do we throw in, because you get like a percentage.
Okay.
So say we win, and it goes by like side bets and all that crap.
Yeah.
So say we win $100,000. Wow. It gets broken up. Like if I put in 1,000 and you put in 10,000, you're gonna get that much.
I got you.
So
got you. How many other guys on the boat?
I believe the crew right now is 5, not including the captain.
That's pretty good, man.
So
what's the biggest tuna you caught?
We actually, me, Donnie, and Rusty went down to Outer Banks this winter, December, and he brings his boat from Montauk down there.
Really?
Yeah, for the giant
that's so
fishing.
cool, dude.
And we caught, me, Rusty, and Donnie were on the reel, hour and a half, taking turns because you need fresh arms.
Yeah.
560-pound bluefin.
560 pounds. Yeah. Holy dude.
So that was the biggest one I've gotten. And we just were out last week and we got a 188-pound big eye, which is a type of tuna also.
Man. And now there's a place when you come in back into the docks where you can sell it and you cut it up and
we sell it to Mark, a buddy of mine. He owns Westlake Fish House, great restaurant out there. And we give him some fish, and then we sell the Gosman's, which is the big fish market right in Montauk.
Okay.
And then down and Outer Banks, we sell it to the same market you see on Wicked Tuna and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Same exact thing.
Did you ever meet any of those guys on that show? I don't really watch that show. I watched it. Yeah.
We've fished with them plenty of times, either out near us, off Long Island, in the canyons, or down in Outer Banks. All those guys are out there.
Now, there's a spot out there called the Canyons?
The canyon is like actually where like the canyon of the ocean is. It goes from, a couple 100 feet deep to thousands of feet deep.
Wow. Man, that's pretty wild.
It's right on, that's
dude,
where the Gulf Stream comes
how great is that? You're a fireman, love being a fireman, and you're out fishing too.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, it's a very expensive hobby. I'm not making a killing, money off of it. It just, I get to fish and do what I love for free, and it pays for all the equipment, the tackle, that stuff.
Tuna fishing.
Just to run his boat.
Yeah.
Like my father-in-law was down there, they were out of Montauk for the weekend or whatever. I told him to come down just before we left, and I was topping the gas off, and it was like $8,000 just to top it off.
Just to top it off.
So I'm like, I would maybe be able to take it out once if I get 8 friends to throw in $1,000. Like I couldn't afford that.
I'm so naive or ignorant, whatever you want to call it, to the fishing world. Like that's just so.
Well, the amount of gear he has alone is probably $1 million. Because each pole he has is a couple thousand.
Because you got to get a pole that's strong enough to pull these freaking 500-pound,
1,000-pound fish, 500-pound fish.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're getting to do it. That's kind of like that would be therapy for me, believe it or not. Going out on the water and doing that stuff.
It's 100% therapy.
Yeah.
And you know what? It takes time away from the family and stuff, but in order to keep my mental health and me, doing what I'm doing and being there for my family, I have to do things, my hobbies, to hunting, fishing, and my youngest guy is all in.
Nice.
Oh, my oldest guy, I'm sorry. My youngest guy is into it too, but my oldest guy I bought him he has a 16-foot like Boston Whaler. I bought him last year for his birthday.
Nice, dude.
So
that's quality time that you're present with your family.
He loved it this morning. I let him drive my boat. I have a bigger boat.
Yeah.
And he drove it the whole, from the dock out to where we were.
Nice.
He goes, "Where do you want to go?" I go, "You woke me up at 4:30 this morning. You take me to the spot."
Did he go, "I'm the captain now"? But, nice, dude. That's great, awesome. Man. Really, really cool.
All that stuff outdoors is very healthy. And it's great for mental health. And
for sure.
Keeping yourself grounded. And
you get the wife out on the boat out fishing?
I put her in a boat in my pool in the backyard. No, she loves the boats. We usually go to a couple of my buddies around here. The water's only a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
So we go to the beaches and stuff, tie up, have big barbecues and stuff usually every weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So growing up in Long Island, right? Long Island's a very big volunteer.
You're in Wantaugh.
You're in Wantaugh.
Yep.
Long Island's a very big volunteer. Like all along. Are there any paid fire departments in Long Island?
There are a couple, but Garden City used to be paid,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they cut down on a lot of that. I'm not sure if there are still a couple paid.
Yeah.
Parts of Long Beach, I believe, are paid still.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the majority of Long Island is all volunteer farming.
Right. So you're also, aside from being FDNY, you're also a volunteer out here in Wantaugh?
Correct.
And you have been for how long?
23 years.
23 years. What made you get into the volleys out here?
My father was on our job.
Mm-hmm.
He was a fireman in 60 and 17. He got on in 77, retired in 99. But he was also a volley chief in Wantaugh.
Mm-hmm.
He was in when he was younger and stuff like that. But the real main reason was I got thrown out of Plattsburgh.
Plattsburgh College.
Yeah, right out of high school. And I came back to Nassau,
Mm-hmm.
and there were rumors. I don't know if you remember this or not. There were rumors in order to get on the FDNY, you needed an EMT certification. It was like talks about that. And
I think I remember talks about that, but I knew
it was
for
like
sure
one
you
of
had.
those rumors, like, you know, in order to get on now, you got to be an EMT certified.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whatever.
I knew it was CFRD you had to get on when I got on, but I thought I remember rumors
Before you got on, I'm saying, like, there was a rumor, whatever. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
some guys back in that time might remember, but there was talks about you need an EMT to get on, not going through EMS, because that was another, like, loophole, whatever.
Right.
That was, EMS became, you know, that was kind of after I got on.
Mm-hmm.
But I joined Wantaugh, in all honesty, to get free EMT school.
Oh,
I became an
nice.
EMT through Wantaugh when I was 19. And I never got on EMS in the city. I had a job. I didn't really want anything to do with it.
Did you even apply for that?
I didn't apply, no.
Yeah, okay.
I took the open competitive. And the kicker to that story is my father signed me up, which, you know, I thank him to this day. He signed me up for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he would wake me up in the morning, hungover as heck, and he'd be like, "Oh, you got a sanitation test you got to take." And I'm driving you. I'm like, "All right."
Yeah.
So I signed up he signed me up for the FDNY originally. I took the test. I did very well on the test.
Yep.
I went through the medical, the physical, whatever, the
psychological,
everything.
Yeah.
I think I'm going in the next class. And I forgot the time frame, but say like a month before the next class was going in, I got a call from a person in, I guess, HR or personnel or something saying I'm disqualified.
What for?
So I like lost my mind. And I remember like vividly, I was up in my bedroom when I got this call, and I think I even like broke down and like, maybe even cried.
Yeah.
And I go, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You were 17 and 3 months old when you took the test." And it's not like I lied about my age or date of birth. It literally went through the whole system. I did everything. And they said you were disqualified. And my father, he was just out of the job, but he still knew people, wrote letters to like chief of the department, the commissioner, the senator, whoever the hell he could write. They said there's nothing we could do.
Even after going through all that, they went through the process. They couldn't look past 3 months.
No. So I freaking got disqualified because of 3 months. I had to take the next test. I did, pretty well on that too. I forgot my list number, but I ended up getting on in 07, which ended up being, I think, like 4 years after I was,
So what test did you take initially? Was it the 99 test?
That's because I turned 18 in 99.
Okay,
so I was 17 and a half. So whatever the 99 test was.
So you took the 99 test because that's the test I took.
Yes.
And I got on in 03.
Yep.
And you probably would have got on before. And you got on 07.
Yep. 4 years later, I had to take the next test.
You had to take the test after 99.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
2003.
I don't know. Yeah.
4, whatever.
Dude, I don't remember. I don't remember you
I
don't
really bring that up ever.
Shit,
I don't,
man, dude. I tell you.
I tell some people, like when people have crazy stories about getting on a job, I had to jump through hoops, I broke my leg, and then whatever.
Yeah.
I'll tell that story. But yeah, I remember I was upstairs in my freaking bedroom. And I got the call, and I go, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You were underage when you took the written." I don't know if the rule is still now.
It's 17 and a half. Because the test, the application.
I missed it by like 2 or 3 months.
You would think I could see.
It would have got thrown out immediately.
I could see immediately they'd be like, you know what, you're not qualified to take the test. But after going through all that stuff, all that trouble, they could have been like, let's just let that slide.
And I think my, father felt like guilty about it because, but whatever. I got on, everything worked out.
Oh man, when I took the physical, I fucked up one of the events. Right? I thought I did because I expected when I took the physical, I was ready, man. I was in shape. I did and I was going to Pudgy Walsh's. Do you remember Pudgy Walsh? He was the football coach for the fire department. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, he used to have the physical like set up so you can go and take practice physicals.
Oh wow!
And it was all firemen. Yeah, let's go. Blah, 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 blah. So I think when I go to take the physical, I'm going to have big burly firemen with mustaches cheering me on. It was like 90-year-old women proctoring the exams, like pulling hoses and all this. And so I saw pulling the hose, and I was further away where I was supposed to be. And she goes, oh, like after like 10 seconds, she's like, oh, you can move over here. And I was like, oh man, I moved up, and the time was over than it was supposed to be. And I left there. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be a fireman. I broke down because it's all I thought about for so long. Yeah. So I can see you just being devastated.
I really think I was I broke down, was crying, I think.
When you have something in your mind for so long, when you think that's what you're gonna be or that's what you want or that's your calling.
That's all I had. Like what else I couldn't do 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
And when they say no, you're not qualified, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, disqualified.
What do I do now? Speaking of your dad was on an episode of Getting Salty, right?
Yeah.
So I want to do a shout out to the Getting Salty guys. Listen, you guys don't need me shouting you out. You guys got plenty of dudes. But I want to say, if you want to check it out, Ryan's dad was on a job in the South Bronx during the war years. So he's got many, many great stories. Been through it. Check that out on the Getting Salty podcast. The Getting Salty podcast is like the senior guys for firemen doing podcasts, right? So I can learn from you guys. So check that out. Getting Salty. Ryan's dad. Do you know what episode it is?
I don't, but his name's James Johnston.
James Johnston.
From Engine 60.
All right, Engine 60. Check it out. All right, so you get on the job, all right, in 2007. How was the academy for you?
I wouldn't want to do it again. I got on in March, so we had part of the summer.
Okay.
So, the summer stinks and all that crap, but great group of guys. Mm-hmm. A bunch of them I still talk to this day.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of fun. My squad was very good guys. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. At times it sucked, but, we had a good crew, and there was, 4 or 5 of us that kind of took the leader role and made sure everyone else in the crew, we would split up and be like, all right, you take this guy today. He's having trouble. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we were good. We were very good. And, it's weird how, our job, I guess life in general, how it works. It's like you can't wait to get on the job. Then you can't wait to get out of probate school and get to the firehouse. Then you can't wait to get off probation.
Yeah.
Then you can't wait to top pay. And then enough time where you can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like all these, different, timelines you hit.
It's like you can't wait. And you're almost not taking for granted, but not living in that,
exactly.
That moment of, man, this probate school, meeting these guys and going and learning all that stuff.
Yeah, looking back.
Right. I'm that way. I always look ahead. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm in it. Like, what's next? What's next? I never was able to.
So. But it's like, I looking back, I loved high school. Like high school was a ton of fun, but at the time, who the heck wants to go to school?
Yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Get me out of here. What's next?
Then you miss it. Yeah. So it's a similar situation.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing. Being present for your family is I've learned to try and be, especially now with my son going to college.
Yeah, that's huge.
To be this summer trying to do as much stuff as I can with him and be there. And because I know in the past, because of some of the things that I think about and whatever, certain events in his life or in their lives that I just wasn't.
Yeah.
My wife would be like, do you remember that? I'm like, no. She goes, you were sitting right there. I go, I must have been somewhere else. Yeah. So it's true, man. You're always worried about the future and what's going on. But So Proby school is all good. Like, what squad were you in?
B-2-1.
Oh, you were the B squad.
Yeah.
You came in the like
Well,
not the afternoon, but
and about Proby school,
yeah.
I came to the zoo with 5 guys.
Oh, the fabulous! Did we call you Fabulous Five?
Yeah.
Who'd you come to the zoo with?
It was me, Eric Ruckdeshell, Rob Zerbel. Us 3 went to the engine, and then Mike Prince.
Oh, that's right.
And Newhoff.
Right.
They
so
went to 30.
Yeah, that's right.
But I knew none of them because I was the only one in B. All of them were in A.
They were all A squad.
Yeah.
You were B squad.
And the only one left in the zoo is Ruckdeshell.
And Ruck's driving the Chiefs still, I think.
Yeah, because Zerbel got promoted. I
Yeah.
got promoted. Mike went to Squad 252. Newhoff went to Squad 252.
Yep.
Newhoff, Prince is retired now. I just
Prince
spoke to him the
retired.
other day. He's moving to Charleston.
Is he really?
Yeah, this summer.
No shit,
Yeah,
man. I
so-
saw him at Captain Leach's retirement gig out in the
okay.
Bronx, and I was
Yeah,
talking to him then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for that though.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw it. That's
because I drove Jack and McElligot.
how's Real Deal doing?
He's good.
Yeah?
I see him, yeah. I talk to him all the time. You
Yeah.
know, the summer gets a little crazy with
Sure.
sports and
Sure.
yeah, but yeah, he's good. We actually own the boat that
Oh.
we're on today. We've owned it for 16
Right.
years.
That's right. I remember you guys had the boat
Yeah,
together.
we used to do the clamming trips.
Yeah.
And Ali had to tap out because he got bit by too many horseflies. He came in, he was all small.
Bro, some of the shit that he used to come in with is funny. But yeah, tell Rich I said hello,
I will.
please, when you
Yeah,
see him. He's a good dude.
He'll
man.
probably call me today because he knew I went fishing this morning.
Oh, okay.
He's working today.
Okay. Does anybody know that you're sitting down with me?
I text Rock earlier. I said, "Yo, Delaney's coming over for the podcast thing. Can you think of any great stories? Because there was a million of our, me and you were in similar groups. We have a lot of the same stories and stuff. But when you try to think back, you kind of go blank. And it's there's a million funny stories. But
Totally. I still have Ruck blocked on all my phones and social media. When I see him, he's like, "Are you going to unblock me now that you're retired?" I'm like, "No, it's the principle now. I can't unblock you." I go, maybe I'm God forbid on my deathbed if you're still alive. I'll be like, "Ruck, come here."
Well, Joe Palm still doesn't talk to me because I didn't invite him to my wedding.
Oh man!
Even
Really?
though I didn't invite not one person.
No.
The only one was McKeel, but he got
That's your
invited.
best friend.
Yeah. Childhood friend.
Oh man!
Yeah.
He lives out here, right?
He lives out east a little bit.
Okay.
McKeel still sees him, because I think the kids play lacrosse together or something.
Right.
Yeah, he said he saw him recently.
It's funny because when I go out here, I forget how long Long Island is.
Yeah.
I spent my summers out in Selden. My grandparents used to live in Selden, and my parents are buried out in Capitol.
Yeah, Rusty lives out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was in the Navy, but it's too
both my grandparents were in the Navy.
So there you go. Yeah. All right, so we're in Proby school. You have any moments in Proby school where you're like, I kind of asked this question because I had that moment where you were like, I don't know about this shit, man. Nah.
No, I was just so happy to be there. And, I jumped through hoops to get on. And, it was just a dream come true. Yeah, it sucked at times.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get the heck out of there. Like I said, I wanted to get to a firehouse.
Yeah.
But I knew McKeel, he got on 8 months before I did.
And
he went to 30 truck.
Right.
So
right.
my father, my hook was for 37 engine.
Okay.
So when it was getting closer, Mike Waters called me. He was the captain of 37 engine. He goes, what do you want to do? You want to come here? I said, no offense, but one of my childhood best friends just went to 30 truck.
Yeah.
Can I go over there?
Yeah.
And that's how I got there. But I was hanging out after Proby school when the zoo was playing softball at Randall's Island.
Right.
So I got to meet, a bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
Hang out a little bit. But...
Sure. That's the way to do it,
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Good. So Proby school, get out of Proby school. You get assigned to the zoo.
Yep.
Get assigned to 59 engine. What were your first thoughts when you get assigned to 59 engine?
It was absolute mayhem. No, it was different than I expected. It's a very hard house. guys, do things on purpose. You've discussed which I missed by, I guess, when did you come to 59?
I got to 59 in March of 05.
Yeah, so I missed you by a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 2 years.
Yeah, I was still pretty new when you guys got there.
Yeah. So I didn't really, that one episode you had about you coming to the zoo, I think I knew some of it, but, a lot of it I guess.
I told you guys.
But, it was first, I guess, out of Proby School when we went there for the first time with the cakes and everything.
Yeah.
We picked up, there's 5 of us, so we picked up everything. We had crave cases, cakes.
Oh, man.
Wings from Dinosaur Barbecue.
Yeah.
And that's when they actually, I don't know if you were working or remember, they locked us in the house watch, in the little room where we had the couches.
Yeah.
And they lit it on fire. And it was banked down where we were like laying on the floor, and then we all had to freaking bail out the window into the parking lot.
And the window only opens like.
I think, I forgot who it was. Prince or somebody broke the window. And we came around, and then the 1-6 showed up. I forgot who the chief was. It might have been Donnelly, but he showed up, and they opened the house watch door, and it was just
lights out. Yeah. I don't think I was working when you guys got there. I think I probably came in the next day. Yeah, like, we got 5 probies. So Donnelly's the chief that would be in the hallway with his white hat on and a cigarette, with it ripping down the hallway.
I'm like, holy crap, a chief's here. Are they going to get in trouble? And he was like, oh, you must be the new guys. We're covered with, soap, soaked head to toe.
Nobody thinks that you guys got to go back the next day for graduation or whatever it is in your classes.
Flour and all that crap on it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the zoo was phenomenal. Great guys, great firemen, guys like you. Once you understand what it's all about, like the senior man structure was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. We never went upstairs. The bosses had it. Yeah, we probably tortured them. Well, I see now as a lieutenant with the book. Like,
oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That freaking book, man. The book of lies.
You don't know, yeah. And then it's funny, the officers are like, oh, yeah, you would like go in the office and like ask them for like a little favor or something. They would make it seem like they're up there with mounds of paperwork. Yeah. But, all those bosses out there know.
Do you remember who the boss was when you got there? Like that first
Cleary
night?
was the captain.
Cleary?
E.J. Tierney.
Yep.
Lieutenant McCluskey. And Kearney.
Mm-hmm. Carney. Chief Carney now?
Chief Carney.
Yeah.
And then in the engine, it was Jay Walsh.
Yeah.
Tommy Quinn.
TQ.
Captain Cleary, obviously.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
Was Dasha still there?
Danny
Dasha? Was Danny Dasha?
Yeah, he was gone for... Yeah.
Who was the boss? Who was the guy working, though? Do you remember who was working that night? What engine boss? What truck boss? Doesn't matter.
I don't.
No. Just
might have been Cleary.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, though. Because I ended up being in Cleary's groups.
Okay.
I was 18.
Yeah.
I think he was 18 or 19.
Now, Ruck is the guy that Cleary got there, right? Is that that was the rumor or the story?
Yeah, and then ended up, I'm not going to use the word hate, disliked.
We broke Cleary
because he worked with his father. I think in like 53 and 40.
Yeah. We always would remind Cleary of that.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing against Ruck. We love Ruck. Ruck is
a
just
friend of mine.
Yeah, Ruck is a good dude, man. He's very snarky, which can get under my skin because he's a lot smarter than me. And he'd use smart words, and I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up." Yeah. Oh man! So, how was probation in the zoo for your first year?
It was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to compare it now to not that then is that long ago. It's I guess 17 plus years ago, but
yeah.
Wow. The whole 24. We're busy house, running around, and then you had to like square root to like kind of even get like a break or a rest or not being yelled at or something.
Yeah.
And it was all for good reasons. Like, you get yelled at for something because it taught you to, be aware when you show up to a scene, look up, and the buckets, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, it was, but like I said, I couldn't wait to get off probation.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. And Mike Prince actually rented in Harlem. He lived, I forgot which street, I was actually going to text him. Off like...
was he up by Columbia or something?
Yeah, he was south of there. I think down near...
Not 116th. He wasn't on 116th.
No, he was above that. Maybe like 122 over there, but I forgot. Tillman? Is there...
Tillman. Is it Tillman?
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah, Tillman Street.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I know what street you're talking about. Off of LaSalle, up that way. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he was on there, so in between, we couldn't do straight tours. We had to do straight tours. We couldn't do 24s. So
unless it suited somebody.
Yeah, so he was in the truck. We were in the same groups.
Yeah.
So after our night tour, we would go to his house instead of me driving back to Long Island, and I would pass out on the couch for a couple hours and then be back at work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Do it over again.
Oh, man. Being on probation is tough, especially in a busy house like that. You got to try and keep the house clean. You got to drill every day. You got to keep all, everything comes down to you if something's not done.
I was in Nick's groups.
Oh, God.
Keith Nicoliello, famous.
Who gets mentioned often.
Probably every episode. I get asked about him all the time.
Do you?
Oh, you're from that place, Nick the Dick? Or,
yeah.
Go,
he was tough when I first got there.
He was in my groups. He was.
Yeah. I worked. He was exactly.
And he liked
we
to
were in
pick
the same
on
group.
engine guys still.
He what?
He liked to pick on the engine guys in a good way, but I got on with the same guys, and I'm like, why are you drilling the hell out of me when Prince and Newhoff, cleaning the kitchen?
Yeah.
I'm like, they're same time as me.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick was amazing. I get along with him very well.
Yeah, for sure.
He taught me a lot, and we drilled nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
And all good. But like I said, at the time it sucked sometimes.
Yeah. Do you remember your first fire on probation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do. I think it was like my first week or two. We were second due to 37 engine.
Mm-hmm.
It was over near, I think it was off like Powell or Douglas. It was a tenement.
Mm-hmm. I think I know what job you're going for.
I think it was like third floor maybe. And it was actually the fire Lieutenant Lyons got a grab. When the gory...
Was it during the day or night?
It was at night.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The gory took one of the windows in the stairwell and cut his face with glass. Lyons got a grab from the floor above. But we were backing up 37 engine. Good job.
Yeah.
And we were in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And it was return stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, good smoke condition. You didn't have to mask up where we were. We were kind of, away from the apartment door.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I see a freaking blown up cat being kicked down the hallway towards me. And I'm like, what the, and the cat ended up living, which is crazy. But the sad part is, then Lyons drags down this. He went to the floor above where it was, the apartment door was left open, so it was pretty lights out up there.
Yeah.
He made a good grab. He got a medal for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we helped drag her down the stairs. She was a big woman.
Yeah.
She ended up living.
Nice.
So helped her down.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, out of that apartment, I think it was a German Shepherd, came down halfway down the stairs, and I was sticking my arm in the between the spindles.
Yeah.
To try to, it was all scared and I reached up. I'm short, so I couldn't really reach him, and he was all scared and stuff. He ended up running back in to the apartment. Man. Fire goes out. We ended up taking over the line, washed down, whatever. We go to the street. They found 2 dogs in the alley between the building. The dog ran up and jumped out the freaking window, 6th-floor window.
Oh man,
that was my first fire.
Yeah, shit.
But
it's crazy. It was
just
and it all happened probably just so quick.
Cat goes kicking down the hole like a basketball. That thing lived. The dog jumps out the window, which I didn't know until after. And then Lyons made a grab.
Rest in peace, Mike Lyons.
Yeah.
But I always remember, at jobs where you find the dead cats, the dead dogs. That always made me sad.
Yeah.
I always hated that. Man, shit. I mean, listen, you go to fires, stuff like this is going to happen. I have such a soft spot for animals.
I went to a job a couple months ago, and there was 20 dead birds.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were all in
Jeez.
cages, and they're all
The shit that we see on this job and doing this stuff, man.
But it's birds.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just saying,
but
there was like cages all over the apartment. I never saw anything like it. That's why I brought it up.
yeah, that's wild. Like you get in there, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, they're all like dead, like whatever parakeets and crap laying all over the bottom of the cages.
So I thought when you started saying about your job, I remember a specific job with you. I think you were off probation. I think we had time on. I was still a pretty new chauffeur. I was driving, and I think we were second due to 37 and 40. And I'm going to say it was like 1, 2, 4 in Douglas or 1, 2, 3. And it just came in as a smoke. And I think it was early in the morning. And everybody was still kind of, just eyes closed. And that's all we got, smoke. Didn't hear anything else. No other second calls, nothing like that. Driving over. I get to the corner because 37's on the block, but there's no trucks in. So I wait on the corner. And I want to say 30 came in behind us and took the block. And still, now 40 isn't there yet. And I look down the street, and I don't think anybody called the 1075 yet. And there's smoke, black smoke chugging out the top floor window of this tenement, like 5 or 6 story. And even the covering boss, I think it was you, it was me, you, covering boss. I forgot who else was on the back step, but I remember you specifically. And everybody's kind of sleeping, and I just go, holy shit. And 37's, doing their thing. 30's getting off the rig. And we still had the old rig. So I was able to bang on the glass and how they used to do in the old days. And I go, and you look at me, because you were sitting right in that spot where the control man used to sit. And you turn around, and I go, fucking, and you look, holy shit in your face. And you just started getting this stuff on. And the covering boss, same thing. And you guys went to work up there. That job, 37 had trouble with the hydrant. The 2.5 cap fucking flew off the hydrant while they were stretching. And me and 91 had to get a plug and freaking fixed everything up. Yeah. And you guys were up there taking a beating up in that. You were like, that was a really good job. Yeah. But it was so funny, like we got there and everybody was still kind of lights out type of deal.
I remember the fire, but was that the same fire when, I think Hanlon was a chauffeur, when Taylor Murphy wrestled the 5-inch? Because 37 had a frozen hydrant and we had to supply them.
No.
Because it was another job similar to that.
Yeah.
But Murphy,
monster.
Somebody charged the hydrant before it was hooked in, but we relayed to 37. Yeah. And then right after that, they had a burst length. We freaking.
No, I wasn't working for that one.
No, I remember the one you're talking about too.
I remember because I remember you. Yeah. I remember banging on the glass. We had a covering boss. I think it was a covering boss because he had his eyes closed, and you just looked at me and you were like, "What?" And I was like, "Fucking!" And we guys went to work, and I still had to wait. I couldn't take the block because 40 wasn't in the block yet. But that was funny. But I remember looking and just black smoke chugging out the top floor. I believe it was the top floor.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. So, oh man. All right. So, you got your first fire in 59 engine. Got any other memorable moments about 59 and 30 that you can think of? I mean, there's so many. Yeah. There's so many.
Talk to you for days.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to like fire wise or
fire wise? Just anything you want to talk about. We're 40 minutes in. We got some time, Well,
one of the, I don't know how you want to call it, bigger, better. It was a tragic fire because a little girl passed away, but that was with Lieutenant Urso.
Oh, right.
You were working for that?
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about that.
It was a multiple up in the 80 and 23 engine, which whenever they get jobs over in that area with these big buildings, it's always, but it ended up being an arson job. And unfortunately, it was very tragic that I think she was like 13 or 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
She was out of the building, but the guy poured gasoline down the staircase, lit the first floor apartment on fire, and she ran back in to get her cell phone.
Oh, man.
And we found her, she was completely melted to the staircase, and we ended up going up and putting out a couple floors of fire.
Yeah.
And we got a unit for that.
Right. That's right.
But you were pumping, right?
I was a chauffeur for that. I didn't pump for that job because what do we?
I think we went on the second.
We went on the second.
We ended up getting the line because I did the bottle stretch out the window.
Right.
And there was me and Mike Allion on the line.
Right. We had, and nobody was backing us up.
Nobody.
I was the chauffeur. It was you, Alien, and Canali.
Correct.
On the line, and Lieutenant Urso, who's actually a truck boss, but was working in the engine that day. And we went on the second, and tell us
I
about...
think they just said, 59, bring a line. We already had a couple of lines going in, so I ended up running back, grabbing the bottle, ran up, threw the bottle out. I think Mike Canali hooked the bottle up. We ended up, Urso and Mike Alien met me upstairs.
Yeah.
And then we pulled the line up, and I think we put out like the 4th floor. And, we were still good.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing the radio recordings, and it was like, 59, we need you on the 5th floor.
Boom, went upstairs.
And we went upstairs, and me and Mike Alien were actually passing the nozzle back and forth because it was just like an inferno going through the whole wing.
Shit, man.
And we put out, and then, Urso gave the transmission, 59, command. We knocked down the 4th floor, and they're like, all right, 59, go to the 5th floor.
Yeah.
Because, every floor was going, and I think they already had lines committed, like, to the roof, 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. And we were just above everyone, and there was still fire.
Just kept going up and up and up.
We just went up to, couldn't go anymore. And
I remember being outside, because the engine chauffeur usually stays outside with the rig. I didn't pump water. I had a hydrant, but I think we stretched off of 37, maybe?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember who we stretched off of, but it was just us. Nobody was backing us up.
Yeah, we had no back.
And we only had 3 guys on the line because they took the doorman away. It was you, Canali, and Alien. So at that point, 2 guys just doing that isn't going to be enough to go in a tenement. So you'd said to me, you made the decision, like, Kenny, I need you to stretch this line. And as a team, that's what we did, or control it. So me being out there, I was not doing much else.
I remember it was a far stretch.
It was very, I can't remember. We definitely got, I want to say it was like 13 links at least that we stretched.
Yeah, because I told you got to be the control man for this one or something?
Yeah. And you went, grabbed the bottle, dropped it, did the stretch, and we had enough to put out, I think, 3 full floors of fire, or you guys had enough to put out 3 floors of fire. I think they got to you said the line almost got to the last room. You had to put it out from the door.
Yeah.
But
I remember that because the windows, it was still a little bit, we put it out.
Yeah.
But we couldn't make it to those windows.
Right.
But we also thought we were going to have one apartment on the 3rd or 4th floor.
I mean, there was enough line to put out.
I'm like, I don't know.
I think at that one point I grabbed an extra length and I got it to the door and I was going in the building. And I want to say Gagan was at that job. And he had his bunker gear on and stuff because I didn't show if there's no way their bunker gear.
You told him to
and he was like, "I'll bring it up to them."
Okay.
And I don't even. I think by that time it was out anyway. So, but yeah, we got a unit for that.
Yeah, that was a good fire.
Yeah.
We obviously we were both there. I did my whole career with you when I was in Engine 59, so we were in similar groups.
Yeah.
Your first pumping job.
Yeah, the first pumping job.
Who was it?
Danny O'Connell was the chauffeur for 30, and I think he was a new chauffeur as well.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but I don't know if they knew I was behind, but I feel like I made the transmission not to take the block. But
I thought I could have sworn they were coming up Lennox, and we were going down.
They were when we turned onto Lennox because we were outside. We get the call for fire. We were sitting.
We made a right.
Made the right onto Lennox.
Maybe they were.
They came out of quarters. They made the left out of quarters.
Gotcha.
Hit Lennox, made the right.
Yeah, I remember. I still could visualize them turning onto the block before us, and we weren't that far away.
We're only 2 blocks behind.
Being like,
only 2
and
blocks.
It's one-way streets, and you got double parked cars and all that crap.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well.
Yeah.
And I remember it was your first pumping job, which you reminded me of.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, all right, I gotta make sure he's squared away because we had to now stretch around the back of the
inline
line.
stretch.
Yep. So we were stretching around, and then that's when Ruck the Shell had that mishaps.
It's a dangerous job. Things happen.
Very
thank God he's all right, but you guys put the fire out.
Cleary was screaming at us, you guys got to get in there. Me and Coyne were jumping back and forth on, handing the nozzle back and forth. It was blowing out the windows in the front, out of the first basement. And we had to knock it down, and then we went in, but there was bikes everywhere and shit everywhere. It was
so often we see
clutter,
that.
a lot of clutter.
A lot of clutter. That's what we have to call it now. Heavy clutter conditions.
Heavy clutter.
Yeah.
That would have been a good trend. I think they used the Collier's mansion back then.
Back then they used. Back then. Dude, we've caught some decent work together, man.
There's probably 100 more.
Oh yeah, for sure. We could go on and on and on. But all right, so at this time you're getting a lot of work in. Did you have any aspirations of going in a truck at all?
I did actually.
Yeah.
I thought about it for a while. You know, a couple of guys were that I was friends with. Were asking me if I wanted to. You know what? I kind of regret not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to really regret much, but I would say I regret it a little bit. But I also don't really remember, like, because I got injured pretty badly in 2015. But at that point, I would have had, I guess, 8 years on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a combination of me becoming a new chauffeur in 59 and being how I always was and like, oh, I'll put things off. Yeah, I'll do it next year.
Yeah. I'll get to the truck next year.
I want to be a chauffeur for a couple of years and then I'll go to the truck. And then how life always happens, I ended up getting hurt in 2015. I was out for almost a year.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just never happened. But, when I was on the lieutenant's list and I knew I was getting promoted, I did work in the truck as like, acting boss before I got promoted. Plus, we didn't have mutual partners. So, like, a lot of people don't understand that. But I worked in the truck probably a quarter of my career anyway because, everyone was trying to grab mutual partners and stuff and with fishing and Rusty. And so I was doing mutuals in the truck. I caught a job in every position in the truck.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up too because.
And I cut a roof. So
how often does an engine guy get to cut a roof?
Exactly.
Like, that's one good thing about our house is it's too much to explain about mutual partners. People that aren't firemen won't understand anything. But we worked so much across the floor all the time. You catch work. So you're working in the truck all the time. Yes, you're not assigned to the truck, but you catch work all you go through the tools.
Plus we got trained I got trained like I was a probie. It was 5 years with Nick.
Yeah, it was like you were in the truck anyway.
I'm like, Nick, I've been here for 7-8 years.
Yeah. And every time they did street drills, you'd get out there and you're drilling with them, climbing the ladder.
Truck, aerial up to the tenements. We were doing, OV drills on the fire escapes. Yeah. He had us doing.
One thing about 59 and 30, and I know they're still doing it, is you became such a well-rounded fireman there because you worked so much in the truck and you drilled so much with the truck guys and the truck guys drilled with the engine guys, and we drills.
We got along,
and we got along great. So it really is because a lot of times you hear that guys don't want, they don't do anything with the truck. They're just engine guys.
Exactly.
I love the engine part of the job. I love stretching hose length, but I drilled as much as I could with the truck. After a while.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. So when you got hurt, I forgot that you got hurt. And how did you deal with that, man? That's tough mentally to deal with.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was in a lot of pain. I broke my neck.
Right.
But
how did you break your neck?
A collapse.
Gotcha.
But it was tough. Obviously, pain. I wasn't into like pain pills and all that crap, so I drank and time off and
our job. That's kind of what happens. Is that that's been out of control.
That was my medication. To, drink and cope with the injury and not being at work and all the time on your hands and stuff like that. But that was tough. And then Captain Cleary actually sat in my dining room table and went over my numbers. And he wrote my CD-72 and was like, you're not coming back.
Yeah.
And went over my numbers and everything, and I was like 50-50 on whether I was coming back or not. And then I think right in that time period, the list came out for lieutenants, and I knew I was going to get promoted in a few years. Yeah, like definitely going to get promoted. My number. So I went and saw other doctors, and I actually, got cleared to come back. And I came back basically because I knew I was getting promoted. And one of my dad's biggest regrets was not studying and getting promoted. So it was kind of like doing it for me, the money, but a lot also, because I knew my dad's biggest regret was that. Yeah. So I fought to get back, to get promoted, to.
Did you have a tough time medically getting cleared to come back?
I did. I had to jump through every freaking doctor I saw within that year in order to come back through our medical. I needed a note from every single physical therapist, pain management, surgeon, whatever. Every single person I saw throughout the whole time needed to give me a letter clearing me.
And they're putting their name on the line to make sure that you're good to go. Man, that's tough, dude.
Yeah.
That's tough. That would, for something like that, you break your neck, dangerous fucking job, man. Like, that's, to come back from that, to probably going through, like, drinking and depression and shit like that. Yeah. And then to come back, it's tough not knowing that you're going to be all right. You have any lingering effects?
Yeah, my neck is always going to be. Yeah, I probably need a couple of procedures, but I'm going to hold off for a little bit.
Yeah. So, you're drinking a little bit, right?
A lot of bit.
Okay, that's how long, tell me about that. Like, I don't even know how to approach this if you want to talk about it.
Course. Well, you've known me long enough. I was always a fun, social guy. I was never angry, didn't fight, but I love drinking. Yeah. I love being, our FDNY and the volleys and, friends. And I was a very social person, and alcoholism runs in my family. Mm-hmm. And like you hit on it, episodes, it's a coping mechanism. It's my medicine. Yeah. I wasn't into taking pain pills and, any other drugs or anything. Mm-hmm. I drank, and, our job, no matter where you work, you see a lot of, crap that, unless you're in the military overseas or something, most people don't see it.
Right.
Right. I could, me and you have probably seen a ton together, but, yeah, so long story short, I was always a big social guy. I love to drink, love to party, love to hang out. And my wife, I have two boys, 13 and 9 now. So probably about 4 years ago, my wife was done. Mm-hmm. She had enough. We were fighting, very toxic. I could see it was kind of affecting the kids, our fighting and everything. And she basically gave me an ultimatum and said, stop drinking, or I'm leaving, and good luck ever seeing your kids again. Which is,
that would
a tough thing to say, but in retrospect, it was the best thing that I ever did, because the hardest but the easiest decision of my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Because I've been drinking for, however long, since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And to give that up and to never drink again was like mind-boggling. Right. Yeah, I couldn't comprehend that.
Right. Like, I'm never going to touch this stuff.
Yeah, never drink again. At that moment, when I was... And, I kind of manipulated her a little bit. And, oh, yeah, I'll stop, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, like, you either go away to the farm and stop for real, or this isn't going to work. And I can't picture my life without my kids in my house with me and whatever, I know divorce happens, a million times a day. But, so I said, okay. And I called up CSU. I said, I want to voluntarily go to the farm. They gave me the options. I try to weasel my way out of it too. Oh yeah, I'll go to Suffolk Community. They have like a.
But you're still trying to square root.
Into I'll go to your CSU, best situation. Because you could go offline to CSU.
Okay.
You could do on your days off to CSU, or you go to, rehab, Marworth, the farm.
Yeah.
So she was like, "No, you're going away.
You're going to the top one.
Yeah,
you're going to where
I've heard you're going to stop or whatever, a million times." So I said, "All right." Freaking limo picked me up and brought me up there.
I'm assuming you've had this conversation with her a few times before.
Oh, yes.
Was this incident, was that your rock bottom?
Yeah. She actually filed for divorce. We ended up, obviously not going through it. But it was contingent on me, getting help and not drinking again.
Yeah.
And, yeah, thinking about losing my two boys and, my wife was absolute rock bottom.
Right.
But,
well, man. So
yeah, I went away for 28 days. It was very, very tough. it was actually, there was a bunch of FDNY guys and cops and a couple guys I knew.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was a good time. Learned a lot. The worst part about it was you didn't have a TV, you didn't have a phone.
They took all that away from you.
You know, I couldn't like FaceTime my kids and stuff,
Yeah.
but you could talk to your kids and stuff,
Right.
you know, every night. Yeah.
So,
but it's been almost 3.5 years.
wow, dude.
Yeah,
God bless you.
Without a drink.
That is great. I'm proud of you, bro.
No,
that's great, man. And because I know you, and I've known you for 17, 18 years now, and I know how I was and how we were, you know, and this is the job that's a very alcohol heavy.
Oh, everything
job.
we do.
Everything we do. Every social event, every party, we're drinking, you know, and I fell into that trap too.
Most people.
But I'm super proud of you, man. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Sobriety looks great on you, brother. It really does. I haven't seen this guy in a while, and you look fit, you look healthy, you look tan, you're out there tan. Yeah. So how do you feel now that you're sober? Like how was the transition of being sober, not having alcohol in your body?
It was, I'm not gonna lie and say it was easy.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was difficult moments in the beginning, obviously. You know, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I'll drink it. You know, and
I could have one here. I could have one there.
Which I didn't know that. And one of my buddies, my mutual partner, Lieutenant, he said, no, you can't drink again. And I'm like, I still, and, you know, this is before I was going. Yeah. I still didn't know what that meant. I go, what do you mean never drink it again? I go, I'll take it easy, you know. But
it'll just be once a week.
Yeah, you can't, if you're alcoholic, you can't take it easy. You can't have, you know, it might last for a little bit, but then. But now, you know, I feel great. Present. Way more reliable than I ever was. And it's not like I was unintentionally, you know, unreliable, but like, you know how it is. You hung over or something and you're like, oh, shoot, I made plans with so-and-so, you know, I'm not in the mood for that. So now I'm very reliable. I'm there for my friends, my family.
Stepped up for me, brother, today.
Yeah. Well, if I was out drinking last night, I would have canceled it.
You probably might have been like,
I would have been sleeping. So. But yeah, it's great. And you know what? I can be around it. I buy it for people. You know, my wife doesn't, you know, she'll have one drink, you know, every couple of days. She's not. I could be around her. I could be at parties. I could be away. I could be alone with a couple of my good friends in my Pennsylvania house. They'll be doing whatever they want, and I'm fine. And I enjoy being a designated driver. And what helps me is a lot of people reach out from our job and like friends and stuff, you know, for help because they know, you know, not that 3.5 years is that long, but you know what? That helps me, and I have a good core of a couple of other guys from our job that I talk to that, you know, haven't drank, and that keeps you.
Did you get involved with the counseling unit to help guys out, or no? I don't know.
No, I never got involved with that.
I thought you were kind of gearing.
No, they just, you know, guys know I am. Yeah. You know, guys from my, you know, 289 and 138. You know, a couple guys from 5930 have expressed interest. But haven't.
Do you go to AA meetings?
I was going for a while for the first couple of years. I go every once in a while. I kind of like slowed down a little bit just because, you know, with the kids and sports and everything's so busy. Plus, everyone goes through their sobriety. Some people need AA every day, multiple times a day. So it all depends, you know. I do enjoy. There's actually a lot of firemen in my area that I know and I've go with. And
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Since I cut down, I didn't completely stop, but I cut down probably 85% of my drink. Like I've made a promise to myself that I don't drink during the week. And when if I do drink at something social, it's like 2 drinks now instead of 10. You know, I feel physically so much better. And number 2, I am sleeping so much better. Do you notice the difference in sleep since you stopped drinking or no?
Yeah, it definitely is. Your sleep is a little bit better, you know, because you're not, you know, waking up and hungover and you're tossing and, you know, all that crap. So, plus your mental, you know, clarity is 100 times better.
Do you remember Timmy Harris?
Yeah, of course I remember Timmy Harris.
So I remember.
I just told a story about him.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a fire. I was in 30 trucks. I had the can. He had the irons, and he almost killed Garvey with an air conditioner.
Oh God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But I remember him specifically because Timmy was Timmy, and he had stopped drinking for a while. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but he was doing like the crossword or a jumble or something, and he got it all like really quick. He was like, I can't believe how clear my mind is when I'm not drinking. And I was like, holy shit.
You're
dude.
still a maniac, but good for you.
But I was like happy for him. Like I was like, because I know how much he was going through with his family life, whatever.
Oh, well,
but I just remember that story.
Quick, funny story about him.
Yeah.
We were out of Montauk doing a striped bass tournament years ago. I think it was me, Timmy Harris, McKeel. I forgot who was there, but you know how Timmy got one. End of the night, drinking all day long.
Yeah.
He I said something to him or something. He's like a switch. He had me in the thing. He freaking popped out my shoulder. McKeel still brings that story up. He's like, I remember your freaking arm was hanging.
Oh man, he was just so he was so rough and tough, strong dude. You know,
like guys like you might need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's in Florida now. I think he's retired in Florida.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm not sure. All right, cool, man. Well, dude, I'm proud of you, man. Like,
thank you.
Like you really look great, and
and I love trying to help. I have guys call me all the time.
And I appreciate you opening up about that for sure. Cool, man.
No, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know what? I say I retired from drinking. It's like when you retired from 59 and you had a great career.
Yeah.
I had a great drinking career. I'm retired from drinking.
So that's something that you bring up that's kind of fluid here. Do you look back on those stories and go, do you regret a lot of those stories? You just been like, man, I had fun. Yes, I was drinking, whatever. But you had so much fun.
There's probably a ton of stuff that I wish. But you know what? I've never gotten that I can think of. Never got in trouble. Never did anything stupid. Never hurt somebody. Never did that when I was sober.
Yeah.
Every time I got arrested, trouble, did something stupid.
Yeah. It's always like, I was drinking, involved drinking.
100%.
For sure.
Like, I'm sure you can't think of you getting in trouble when you were completely sober, unless it was like, a traffic violation or whatever.
Even when I'm sober, I have anger issues.
That's the difference.
All right, cool, man. You're on the list. You get promoted to lieutenant, and you start bouncing around the 14th Division.
14th Division.
And you end up in 289 engine.
Correct.
Right? So how was that? How was it different getting there and being a boss?
It was... Being a lieutenant is amazing. Yeah. Our bosses, you don't study, you're an idiot. I don't know. Mostly our senior guys were saying that.
Yeah.
But, it's great. No more committee work. Mm-hmm. I loved cooking.
Great cook.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. That was besides the guys and the kitchen table, I miss cooking a lot. I still bring in, my fresh kills and tuna and clams, and I still dabble with cooking in the firehouse, which is good. But that was, but you know what? I'm very social. I like hanging out with the guys, but it's like you're not like obligated to be in certain places at certain times, and you could go up.
It's different being a boss than being a senior guy.
Because you could go up to your office, you could do kind of what you want. Yeah. So it was good. Plus, I'm a little bit closer to home. I miss Harlem, but you know what? I worked there a couple times, recently, and it's.
I don't miss the commute.
No, it's insane.
That fucking GW bridge.
Oh yeah, well you're coming from it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's great being a boss. I never forgot where I came from. Mm-hmm. I think anyone you ask that knows me as a boss or whatever will tell you I'm a fireman's boss, not one of these micromanaging power, like, right. Every time somebody comes in the exit for the boss, they're like, oh yeah, he's right here. Because I look like, I don't wear that, I never put my
coming from Harlem in 59 and 30, people probably are like, oh, this guy.
Yeah,
this guy knows
they
what
always
he's
ask, and like I did when I drove, when I was a chauffeur, and you had to cover, where were you a fireman? Because you want to feel them out to like,
sure.
Yo, guys, be careful. This guy's from.
Doesn't have a lot of experience, but coming from the zoo in that area, they should know that, all right, he's been in a busy place. He probably has his shit together.
Yeah, guys respect it and know, and just like if guys told me they were from 111 truck or Brooklyn, busy places, all right, you guys, pretty square.
You give them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
Until something happens.
Until proven.
You catch. So, how long you been at? How long were you at 289?
I'm there 5.5 years.
Oh man, I forget how fucking fast.
Yeah, I got promoted over 6 years. January will be 7 years.
Yeah. Johnston sucked though, I bet, right?
I got taken care of because I played hockey with the deputies.
Oh, so you can play hockey too.
I didn't bounce too long, and I was in 117, which I thought I was going to get that spot.
Yeah.
But then I got bounced out of there because
politics.
Our old lieutenant became a chief. Leimeister was the captain of 117 who got me there.
Yeah.
He got promoted, and then the new captain had his own guy, which ended up working out perfectly because I went to 138. I was there covering a medical leave for a while, and then the senior lieutenant in 289 was retiring, and I told the captain I'm all in. So I got the spot fairly quick, and then it's great firehouse, a lot of fires.
Nice. Yeah. Queens. When I started transitioning, well, even before that, Queens seemed to be the borough that started going to work a lot. Like I felt like Queens was always catching fires and going to work. So you got to a good borough there.
Great guys. A lot of experience, and I'm gonna hopefully be promoted to captain. But
very good.
So I gotta figure out where I'm going.
You'll figure it out. You're just one step at a time. You'll figure it out. Cross that bridge when you come to it.
Jack's trying to get me to go to the 15th division.
Oh, he's still over there in the 15th?
Yeah.
Is he loving it or what?
Yeah, he loves it. But I've heard nothing but good things about the 15th.
Okay.
Obviously, you hear things about whatever, certain.
The way they run things.
That's everywhere.
Yeah.
Every division's gonna have houses that aren't,
Yeah.
But so instead of going over a bridge and go to the 6th or the 7th, I might head to the 15th. We'll see. I don't know.
You'll figure out what's best for you and your family and yourself and your career when that time comes. You'll cross that.
And the good thing is, as a captain, 1 year and you can come back to where.
Oh, okay. Dude, you've made so many good decisions in the last few years. You're gonna make a good decision when you get to captain. So
anywhere I go, 6th, 7th, or the
6th. You know the 6th.
It's just the drive.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the bridge.
As you get older, man, that commute really affects.
But plus, I would like to try Brooklyn out because I worked in the Bronx, worked in Manhattan, Harlem.
Yeah.
Worked in Queens. I'm never going to stay. Hopefully.
Fuck Staten Island. No.
No. Some chief's going to watch this and be like,
nah,
that guy Johnston's going to freaking Staten Island. He's going to the 8th.
Nah, Staten Island's all right, man. We're all fine, but it's all good fun. So I brought up in the beginning a couple of medals that you got, right, for this heavy-duty fire that you guys were at, man. I haven't heard this story or just snippets of it. You're in 289 engine, assigned to 289 engine. But that night, I'm sorry.
I think I was there for the 24, but I was working a 24 and 138.
Okay, so
which is the truck with 289.
With 289. Okay, so let's go over this story. You got to go from soup to nuts, and then we'll end it with this story. When you got the call, what you were hearing on the way there, the guys, what dude,
So I ended up working which happens all the time. I picked up a tour for actually a guy from 28 truck who was a fireman in 28, and he was a lieutenant in 138.
Okay, what's his name?
Kevin McCluskey.
I
think he was down golfing in Florida.
Oh, dude.
Because it was August.
I hope you hit a hole in one, brother.
So I work at 24 for him, day, night. And I remember the night tour, we shut it down, I think after midnight, maybe a run. And the engine got beat up pretty good. as usual. Just like Harlem.
Yeah.
59 got crossed 30, slept all night. And
old square wheels.
The run came in at like 7:30 in the morning, 7:45. And, report of a fire, people trapped.
Right away off the bat.
Right. I think it said on the ticket, people trapped. Wow. And then once, the rig got turned on, I got on the rig, right away they're calling, multiple people trapped, multiple reports, blah, blah, blah.
Bro, that's like, it's giving me fucking, I get anxiety just even listening.
So we're going, and we're a tower ladder. Well, 138's a tower ladder. So the engine could fly.
Yeah.
Pretty close box with our second due, which is Elmhurst.
Okay.
287, 136 was second due, 4-6 battalion. So 289 pulls up first. We're on the same block. It was a pretty big block. They pull up. They give a 1075. As soon as we made the right, you could see the smoke. I was pushing pretty good from it was basically a big 2.5 story private dwelling.
Okay.
Almost like a 3-story because it had a peak roof.
Yeah.
The attic, but it was like a full, 3rd floor.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've showed you pictures. I'll show you, after this.
Yeah.
But it was literally like something you see out of like a movie. So 7:30 in the morning, I got a couple hours of sleep. Great crew with me. Senior Sean O'Rourke was the chauffeur. I didn't even have to tell him what to do. Positioned the rig perfectly. I might have said, make sure you get those people because when we pulled up, all you saw was hands and arms and legs. They had the thick window bars, not like the child gates.
Yeah.
Wrought iron window bars, every single window up to the 3rd floor.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
And the whole 2nd and 3rd floor, all you saw was arms and legs sticking out of the windows. Heavy fire, 1st floor in the rear, blowing out the windows on the number 2 side and 3 side. So it turns, I get off the rig. 289 already gave, Timmy Lyons was the officer of 289. He gave us a 1075. I had Andrew Gabor and E-Rod was with me. We went in. The door was left open. People were running out the front door already when we got there.
Okay.
Lights out condition. We masked up. I just remember telling them, all right, I'm going to find the fire. You guys got to find the staircase because everyone's trapped. It looks like 2nd and 3rd floor. 1st floor, either they self-evacuated or dead because, inferno in the rear.
Too hot, they were done. If anybody was on the 1st floor.
The crazy part was it was set up for a freaking wedding. So it wasn't like a layout like a normal, you walk into my house and they had, tables everywhere, chairs everywhere, like these, tapestries and like almost like an altar.
Really?
Yeah,
in this house?
In the house.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I freaking go, I find the fire right away. I didn't do a left or right hand, nothing. I just kind of shot to where I saw them come out the windows, and it was kind of like a half wall that opened up to the doorway, which was the kitchen.
Okay.
And I just saw it was flying out this half wall, coming out the door. Shot back to the front door right away. Timmy Lyons, who was the boss of 289, they had the line right there. I go, Timmy, it's straight ahead.
Straight
back. I kind of moved a couple of things. I go, yeah, but straight shot. I go, we got to get up to the 2nd floor. 4-6 battalion Chief Demick is like, 138, you got to get up to the 2nd floor because now, black tomorrow. So
everybody's showing up.
So we find the stairs. I think it was E-Rod who found the stairs. We go up the stairs, and it was one of the hottest, fires I've felt because, it was lapping now up the stairs. And Andrew Gabor actually got burned with his hood on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it up to the stairs. E-Rod went into the back bedroom. I went to the front bedroom where everyone was escaping off. Everyone was stuck behind the window bars. All the doors, that door was shut. I opened the door. 138 already had their bucket to that window and already had the window bars ripped off. People were evacuating. So I kept the door shut. I let everyone go out the front. E-Rod found a baby in the back bedroom. Wow. Handed it off. Guys that were off duty, since it was right around the change of tours, were doing CPR on the baby in the street. Drove there.
Wow.
So I ended up making a grab in the middle bedroom. It was like a semi-unconscious, combative, freaking,
oh, man.
One of the, I don't know if he was drunk, definitely CO. He was, half awake. I grabbed him, brought him out to the front door.
You brought him downstairs,
289,
out to the front.
Made a quick, push in. Basically, once we got up there, they started hitting water, or we would have been, in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Gabor made another grab for a unconscious woman too.
Wow.
So me and my 2 inside guys all grabbed people, brought them out the exterior, and I think 138's bucket took out something crazy, like 15 or 16 people out the windows from the second and third floor front.
Holy shit.
There were 32 people total.
32 people in this house.
It was an El Salvadorian wedding the night before. They stopped partying around 6 a.m.
Oh, my
And the fire started because they had sternos and a wedding. So they had all sternos, hot things, ovens were on.
Yeah.
They were all...
Holy shit. Everybody lived?
Except for the baby.
The baby didn't
But,
make it.
you know, the baby was left alone in that back bedroom in a crib. And that's... The fire ended up, you know, exposing into that room a little bit.
Oh, man.
The fire was right below the baby. But everyone else ran into the front, except for the people that we grabbed in that middle bedroom.
Something like that, man. You don't even have time to think, man. You're freaking...
No, and if it wasn't for, you know, the crew I was with, I literally, you know, it wasn't easy, but it makes your job that much easier. I trusted the crew, great guys, the chauffeur of 138, OV of 138, Wojcik, senior guy, got up there, ripped the bars off. And
how'd they take the bars off?
I think they used a saw or a Halligan or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, there's pictures of, you know, all you see is like hands and stuff.
Yeah, send me the picture or just show them to me and I'm going to get them all up. That's
but yeah, everyone, you know, 289 did a great job, you know, knocked down the fire, you know.
Not anybody who's not a fireman, I can't express how dangerous the floor above the fire is. They say it's the most dangerous
part like in the chimney, basically.
Because
that's where heat and
smoke rise and fire rise. So when you're up there without the protection of a hose line, it's the most dangerous part of the job. And for these guys to go in and make those grabs, to have the freaking balls to do that without the hose, unbelievable, man. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, everything had to go basically perfect for that fire. For only, unfortunately, that little baby.
Everybody else made it except for the baby.
Yeah, where if, you know, say that it was in the winter, the frozen hydrant or burst length, you know, a dozen people would have died.
Right. Holy shit.
Or if they couldn't get the bars off, or say the towel ladder broke down and they couldn't get the bucket to the window.
And then if one thing
or
goes
if you didn't
wrong,
have squared away guys. All my guys were phenomenal.
Right. Nobody panicked. Everybody just did what they had to do.
Everyone did. It was like everything went as smooth as possible.
Nice. I can't, like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That really is.
No, it was good. Everyone did great.
When the guys told me that story and they're like, yeah, that was RJ's job. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, holy shit, man. That's amazing, dude. Like, really, really good stuff. So, for that,
if you want medals, you got to work in the truck.
The engine get? An attaboy?
Yeah. No, they got a unit, but no, you know.
I can't tell you how many times we've caught work as an engine, really did, and they put in for a unit, and they were like, nah, 59, you get an attaboy. A pat on the back. Here you go. Oh, 30? You guys are getting the medals. You guys are for the same job. Yeah. It's funny. Whatever. It is what it is. It's not about medals. It's not about
not at all.
Units. It's about doing exactly what you guys did. All your training, everything that you have thought about and done and worked for every single day came to fruition.
Yeah, and it's never individual.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know there are guys out there that are like, oh, I got to put in. I really wanted us to get a medal as a company.
Yeah.
Both companies, like 30 Truck Out.
Like where they get the World Trade Center medal 2 years in a row.
That's what I really wanted.
Yeah.
But, you know, two other guys, me and my two, you know, Canon Irons, we all got medals.
Mm-hmm.
And then both companies got units.
Yeah.
But I really wanted that company medal because I thought both companies deserved a medal, you know.
Absolutely. For a job like that? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I was, you know, because medal, it's good to, you know, be recognized, but I would have rather had everyone.
Yeah.
Instead of just me. But, you know, you get what I mean.
I do get what you mean. And anybody.
My dad had a fight with me. He's like, you're wearing those things. I'm like, I'm not wearing it.
But great stuff, man. Great stuff.
It was legit.
Yeah.
So
that's legit.
I'm saying it's not like, you know.
Every now and then you get some write-ups that
there's people out there that, you know, scumbags and don't write up.
Creative writing.
Yeah.
In some things. This one was completely.
I've been to a bunch of them where
You read them and you go, I was at that fire. I go, they didn't fucking do that.
Second.
Wait a second.
A Cessna flew into the top floor.
What? Are you shitting me? That didn't happen.
That was a toy plane on the floor. You friggin'.
So many. Yeah. That's the one thing when Metal Day happens and you guys get the book. We're all like we all go read through the fires that we were at and go, that's bullshit. But
I'm not lying. You know what? I'm not. Take this out, because
that didn't happen.
It went a little differently.
Yeah. But awesome, dude. That's integrity. You have integrity.
Yeah, it was just I wanted to do the right thing, and for sure. I don't know. It's just I guess. People that were there, if they saw that, I don't want to be that. Oh yeah, that didn't happen.
Like you got that. That's not what happened. Like that,
which I knew it was well deserved, and like I said, I wish it was that. Yeah. The 130 got. That would have been nice.
You know me. You watch the show. I'm all about honesty, integrity, and transparency, and that's just the best way to be, as a person, as a man, as a fireman, just open and honest, right?
Absolutely,
dude. I can't thank you enough. We're on like freaking hour and 25 minutes, and it felt like 15 minutes. It felt like 10 minutes. But I can't thank you for sitting with me and stepping up. Bro, thank you so much. I want to say real quick, it must be true. If you heard it at the kitchen table, we'll see you at the big one. Thanks, RJ.
Anytime,
all right, brother. Oh, dude, that was awesome. Great. That was so much fun.
I have to piss like a racehorse. No, that was great. Dude, it literally went by like nothing.
Totally.
And we could have probably talked on each one of those subjects for hours.
We could have talked so much more.